Hey guys, today we are playing Autopsy Simulator. You're gonna hear Grizzly.
What?
You're gonna hear Grizzly in and out of my shits. My bad. We're in a party chat, but he's literally like 100 feet from me, so yeah. Yeah. Alright, yeah. I accidentally started a prologue, so I had to back that thing up.
Backing up. Beep, beep, beep.
And now, hello. I got you muted.
Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna unmute him so you may get dub audio, but I'm gonna lower him. Alright, here we go!
Medical examiner, Pete'sville. Dr. Jack Hanman is speaking. How can I help you?
Good evening, this is Kate Brooks. I'm not sure if you remember me. A few weeks ago, we talked about an article I'm working on. It's about your wife. I dropped by last Friday to speak to you, but you weren't working at the time. I asked the security guard to pass on a note for me. I would like us to discuss the topic of...
I thought I had made it painfully obvious for the last time. No! Please don't call me again and stop inquiring about my wife.
Bro,
Journalists. They don't let me work.
what happened to his wife?
Damn it. I'm not in
They
the
keep
best frame of
inquiring
mind to
about his
record a
wife.
lecture for my students now.
I don't know why I'm in party chat, because the way I got my shit
Completely
ran,
broken.
it doesn't work for you.
Where did I leave my meds this time?
Hey, this reminds me of the other game.
Stephen didn't clean up after himself.
Nah, I'm saying this so they can read. You are. Can't find you at home, but you are avoiding me. You know. All these freaking journalists, leave me alone. What is that?
Pay me too little for this.
We're gonna have a
Stephen didn't
zig-zig?
clean up after himself again. Awful. It would be good to finally repair.
Oh,
the
I
coffee
put us in the
machine.
dark. My poor
I
wife.
guess it was in another life.
Alright. Gotta find my medicine. Pause and read. Can you pause? Ooh. Why is it so dark in here? It's so dark. Gloomy. Okay. Another missing
Another
person.
kidnapping
I'm an
this month.
alcoholic.
I'm drunk now.
Alright. Someone's lipstick. Where would I put my meds?
It won't be needed for the next few months.
There is alcohol
Not very
everywhere.
comfortable. I work with corpses.
Bro,
but I don't
where
have to
is my
smell like one.
meds? Better go take some alcoholism.
What?
Okay, cool. Check the bathroom for my pills.
But the word is, the lab will be open tomorrow.
Someone done blew up this laboratory. Can I go through? Oh, I can. And the first thing I do is see a dead body on the table. Yep, I'm out of here. I need to go.
Well, I'm out, guys.
Okay, time to pull myself together
It's just a little bit.
and get back to work.
Alright, cool. Why? Is that what it is?
I need to set up the camera
Woo.
first.
Yeah, I'm gonna adjust my graphics also. We're gonna put it on about 60 frames per second. That's normally how I play my games anyways. We don't want motion blur. Turn off the motion blur. There's my gloves. I get to touch a body without gloves. Okay, step 1. Your PPE. Step 2. Right side autopsy table. Tool wheel at hand. Step 3. Photos. Step 4. Microscope, x-rays, and probes. Oh, come here. It's probing time.
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. Poor soul. I get cases
I gotta go
like
find
this
the storage
more than
room.
any other.
Wasn't I not just in the storage room? Bathroom, office. There it is. Ooh.
This place is starting to look like a... Now remember, Jack. Don't forget, hit the record button this time.
I was gonna ask you the same stuff. This is the type of camera that you used for P8 back in the day.
Oh my.
Hopefully the new tripod is going to hold up.
You got worms? I ain't touching them, bro.
Now, I just have to get everything in frame. This should be fine. November 20th, 1991. Time, 8:42
Oh, it's
p.m.
1991. That's why the camera's so
Recording for
old.
medical students from the University of Missouri.
Look at the
This autopsy
chalkboard.
is conducted by
Alright,
Jack
cool.
Ham. Let's start. The cadaver is placed on its bed. The pathologist stands on the right of the deceased. Make sure that... Let's start. In the process of revealing and securing forensic evidence, it is difficult. Let's start. During your research, be patient, inquisitive, but above
Alright, so
all,
we gotta do research on this
detail.
patient.
Many entries are
Dead
visible at first glance,
patient.
but sometimes
Is he even a
they
patient
can be
anymore?
cover for more interesting stories.
Police evidence file.
The body was noticed by a station employee during the morning shift. Initially, he thought that someone had thrown some boots and a coat in a nearby ditch. It took him a moment to recognize the
Did you
pile
grab
of
the police
clothes
evidence?
as the body of a man.
It's on the table. By the body.
The deceased was found on the outskirts of a parking lot at a gas station, where he often begged and persistently offered drivers to wash their car windows.
It's
Signs of
telling you to take a look at the
libation were found around
chalkboard.
the body. Empty bottles, traces of an inept attempt to start a fire, and a scattered makeshift blanket. He worked most of his life at the
You
local
gotta click
port
on it.
dealing with
Click on the
unloaded cargo.
individuals. It's on the
He
wall.
was fired for being drunk and starting fights.
Yeah.
His son runs a hardware store on his own. His wife left him. The deceased's name is Tobias Chambers. That's it.
That was all. Okay.
It's
Put it
worth
down.
remembering the context around the scene of a death. This allows you to better interpret any traces found on the body.
I gotta find some gloves.
Without gloves.
And I gotta do some weights.
Now it's our turn to take some pictures for our files. If I can just remember where I left the camera.
Pick up the
That's
photo
here
camera.
somewhere.
Where's the photo camera? There's a video camera.
My old but trusted centrifuge. Ideal for all the fluid tests I need.
Where
to perform
is the...
during an
Oh,
autopsy.
shit.
Aha! There you are.
The camera's
Oh,
in
it
the
was here
drawer when you get there. Just like, you know, it's in the computer
As I
drawer.
mentioned at the beginning, before
Now I
we
gotta
begin
take
the
some
internal examination, we need to
general
document the
photos
cadaver
of the
condition.
deceased.
We begin with a full body photo. Try and stick to the top-down rule.
He looked like he
But
got
this is
stabbed
not always
before he had
possible.
surgery.
Let's keep in mind it's
And
all
he got a
about
bullet
legibility,
hole where
not
his
the
nipple's
perfect
supposed to be.
Okay, did she seriously just say that?
Voila. Now we move on to the next step. Looking for trace. Take your time. Look, you're looking for anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, find marks on the body Or he looked like he's been... He looked like he'd been ate up.
The boiler healed wound. Looks old. I'll take a closer look later.
His poor toes. Let's go to the other side.
Some wounds in the feet and signs of frostbite, probably because the subject's shoes were too small.
Sorry guys for zooming in there. Yeah, I'm trying not to aim at it, but like I was trying to look up and down the legs where, you know. You gotta zoom in onto the actual wound.
That's something interesting. It will be necessary to check whether this injury was severe enough to cause
Alright, one
damage
more
to the
photo. I
brain.
have no idea where to go. Oh, his hands.
Hardened hands, worn out by physical work, and frostbite.
Alright, that's done and
In
over
a
with.
moment, we will check which of our initial observations will be worthy of further consideration.
Where
But
is
before we
the
get to that,
photo
I
board?
need to write down some basic data.
Oh, here they are. Perform the autopsy. Who in their right mind gave a crazy the
Scalpel,
stuff for the
scissors,
autopsy?
Syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife. Personal information. The deceased was unclothed. Date. Okay. As you can see, I note everything down on previously prepared forms. Every pathologist must keep a detailed record of every step of the autopsy. This not only allows you to track the procedure, but also collates the results together, upon which you may back up your conclusions. So,
Okay, you got
enough
it.
of the boring prep. Let's begin by taking
Sorry
a
guys,
closer look at
Grizz
the
is playing
spots
the
I
same game and I'm
photographed
like
earlier.
walking him
For
through
this,
certain
you're
parts of
going
it.
to need a magnifying glass.
Alright, inspect the areas of concerns. What the how do I pull out the magnifying glass? Oh, I gotta actually get one. Okay, cool. Wait, what? Oh. Thank you. So we help each other out.
Which spot first? It looks like a burn mark. No
Okay,
doubt
so
painful.
got burned.
But it's not pertinent for this case.
We're trying to figure out his cause of death. It
Here
looked
we
like he
can
got
see
frostbite.
on the fingertips. We can tell by the characteristic skin color.
This is actually what I wanted to be in life at one time.
Definitely a painful mix of frostbite, abrasions, and blisters. Old Toby
Like,
had
I
been wearing
wanted to
shoes
go
too
be,
small for him for a very long time. That's if he wore
Morgue
them at all.
person. I can't even remember what to call him. Like, this was my dream job.
I can confirm the presence of ecchymosis on the deceased man's head. The appearance indicates the intravital nature of the wound. Add alcohol, which I can clearly smell, and this was an accident just waiting to happen.
Oh, he died of an accident.
So far, there are a lot of superficial wounds, but only one serious injury to the head. Let's go back to our notes. First, I mark the location of the injuries and make notes for each one. So,
I think it was accidental. Highlight the previous found wounds. How do I? Oh, okay.
the head wound. Definitely, we're not in front. If Toby's
How to
body
use the
was
mannequin.
cold for a prolonged, even though this type of wound didn't contribute to the deceased's death, we're still required to record it. As you can see, we don't have much to go on. Let's write down what preliminary causes of death we can think of. Various types of accidents are common, considering the conditions in which he slept. The nights have been particularly nasty. This is of no interest to us. Since the deceased clearly smelled of alcohol, I'll add alcohol poisoning to our list.
Alcohol. Okay.
We still have one thing left from the basics. Rigor mortis.
Okay, so I gotta do. How do I do a rigor mortis? I don't know how to do the rigor mortis.
Well, we take
Grab
our
his
deceased
hand.
by the hand. Gradually re-raise it.
Yeah. And see if it stays there. This is a little hectic, not gonna lie.
Now let it go. As you can see, the hand falls loose. What's the conclusion? Death must have occurred more than 72 hours ago. The police information appears correct.
So the police data was correct. Alright.
Head trauma seems the most promising, so we'll start
Whee!
there. For this,
We get to open
I
the
need an
skull,
operating saw.
boys!
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife.
Alright, cool.
I guess I forgot to clean the knife.
Oh.
The cut is made from ear to ear.
Oh yeah, you're not into stuff like this.
After which, we remove the skin and the top of the skull. After the
Get the
basic
brain,
examination, we can
boys!
see that the brain's cerebral gyri
They got a
and
little
both
thingy.
hemispheres are symmetric. The brain looks
I
good.
used to be able to
Let's take
name
a
all of this.
cross-section.
Your frontal lobe, your occipital lobe.
Some pathologists
All that
prefer
good
to
stuff.
examine organs without removing them. However,
Leave the
for
body.
me, it's much more convenient to examine them on a board, which we'll do now.
Dissect the brain on the cutting board. Alright, cool. It's no different than dissecting a pig. I had to dissect the pig's
Holding
brain,
a long,
so
narrow
it's...
blade knife in the dominant hand, we slowly cut the cranial nerves on both sides, all the time pulling the brain towards us.
Sorry for going so slow. But, like, you gotta go slow.
So far, so good. The
Anybody
huge
hungry?
tumor seems to have had no effect on the brain.
Here's your spaghetti.
Yo, the worst tasting ever.
Return to the autopsy. Okay, cool.
We can rule the fatal accident out as well.
Ew, I could smell that room whenever I had to do autopsies on piglets. Like, I had to do more than one, and then I had to do the piggy room with little piglets inside of it. It was hectic. Anyways,
Brain is in good
I
condition,
didn't-
so we have no choice but to proceed to the internal examination.
I
of
feel
the
like
other
it's gonna be a
organs.
freeze.
I grab a scalpel from my kit. The incision should be in the shape of a letter Y. We use a deep cut to reach all the way to the ribs and to penetrate the abdominal wall.
Yeah. If you don't like it, you don't have to play it.
All
I'm
right.
having a ball
Now we
over
peel
here.
back and
I'm having some laggy
this whole
spells.
thing is covered in stains. I should check this out under the microscope sometime.
It's kind of laggy, I'm not gonna lie. But it did just release on today,
Let's get
the
back to the
6th.
examination.
But you guys are probably gonna see it later. Use the centrifuge. Okay.
We put all of the samples into the rotor.
So you can see everything.
Now we set the appropriate time and speed.
I don't know how long I gotta do this.
Poor soul. Poor soul. I get cases like this more than any other.
15 minutes to 70%.
Okay, let's roll.
There we go. Thank you. I didn't even look. In a way, yes.
A considerable collection. Oh shit. The fuses again.
Yeah, it's a horror game.
Where were we? Oh yes. The blood alcohol concentration.
He's also on meds, so he could be schizophrenic. What does it say? Out of order.
Let's see what we've
No,
got.
there's something on the freezer.
Everything's separated as it should. Our lab is closed until tomorrow after the last, incident. However, considering that Toby's favorite
Just mix it by
parfum
hand.
appears to be ethanol, I'm guessing the results won't surprise me at all.
Okay.
Let's go further. We will now focus on the cardiovascular system, specifically the heart.
Alright, so now we're gonna do heart stuff.
We remove the organ and examine it closely. We look for dark hypoxic areas, clots, or other elements that
You
stand
cut it
out
up
as
to
abnormal.
see if it has.
At first glance,
It's on the
heart looks fine.
mine's on the cutting
The
board
pulmonary
still.
trunk and aorta seem to be in good condition. There are no pathological changes that would have contributed to Toby's death. Now let's take a closer look at the stomach.
Gotta rip
Size
his
is
stomach
normal.
out.
Healthy, pink color, and as expected, the stomach has no major external damage. We must now cut it open and inspect inside. We will do it carefully so that its contents do not spill out.
Alright, so I gotta go dissect the stomach.
We open the stomach along the greater curvature from the
Hey,
heart
look, it's
to the
how
pyloric
your
end.
food digest. I can't do it.
Oh, I already feel like there's something left inside.
It's like how your food digests. So weird. He's schizophrenic, so of course. Oh, I didn't go all the way up. I don't know if I had to go all the way up or not. If you start screaming, I know there's something jumping out at you. Sorry for going so slow. I'm just trying to make sure
Okay.
Woo!
Large amount of gas.
Look at all that.
Small amounts
Wow.
of yellow, grayish food content, resembling some kind of meat. Either our deceased hadn't eaten in days, or the bulk of his stomach had already found a way out. Looks like
I
I'll have
thought
to
someone was
find the
standing
missing
over there.
contents.
It's starting to lag out a little bit.
I can't.
It gets worse.
Cannot. I need pills.
Is he a druggie, sir? What's up with his mental? Oh, I remember. Alright, we made it. Sorry for the lag. I'm sorry. But it's horrible. I remember where the bathroom was. Now I'm back to the autopsy.
There are two ways here. One is obvious,
Kind of just.
and the other is... It couldn't have been suffocation, could it? I'll add this to the list and move on to the deceased's neck.
Alright.
At first glance, the trachea looks normal. Same result as with the stomach. The external inspection doesn't tell us anything. This time we'll cut on a tray. While cutting such a small organ as the trachea, we must make a precise incision.
How far did you get? Are you on the trachea now also?
To be able to cut with the very tip of the
You
blade,
passed that?
we must hold the scalpel as we would a pen. And after careful examination and deduction, we've got it. a clogged trachea. It's time to summarize the whole thing.
He died by choking.
Based on the report and preliminary documentation, it's safe to assume that the deceased passed out after consumption of alcohol and then fell asleep on his back. Then, the gastric contents refluxed and flooded the airways, causing death. That's why we don't forget about the recovery position at dorm parties.
Now, was it accident, natural, suicide? I don't know.
And now it's all
Yeah.
clear. The death was suffocation. The mystery is solved. But for us, this is not the end. First, the dead body needs to be cleaned up.
Alright, I just wrote a bunch of squiggly lines for my name.
For this, we will need to close the body and grab the needle. First, we unroll the skin flaps. And then, we sew the deceased back up. I'm using the baseball stitch.
I guess we're
technique.
gonna have to solve
This
his
stitching
case.
method is very strong and quick to do. Beautiful. Now we say goodbye to the deceased and put them safely in the fridge, ready for the next stage of their journey.
I gotta put the body in the fridge. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
God, I'm tired. I'll drop these samples off at the lab.
No,
on the way
this
to
is
the
just a
bar.
prologue. What about all the organs I'm leaving laying around?
I'll call Steven. I don't feel like drinking alone today.
Bro, your own medications. What, he uncovered himself?
I can help. Oh. Oh, you're bleeding out your eyes. Okay.
Grizzly's already ahead.
Skulls come.
Okay.
Multiplying on me.
Oh, it's skulls. And now he's crying blood. GG's. Hey, this looks like my Steam background. Don't mind me, I'm just drinking some coffee. This is a hell of a nightmare.